Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I were the oh god. I'll ramble already. So heavy, I wish I would have switched the CDs long enough. Face, don't you understand? Now take a look at the mirror. You're close about interesting in this. Edgy poo, now he's got style. Well, he does have style, I do agree with that. Now hold your tongue on for now hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Engarde, the man, but Mr. Engarde, the Nickel Samurai? But when you think about it, they're really one and the same anyway. Miss Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about. Edgy-poo, do you think so too? Well, it might be something worth thinking about. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify. Alright, if you insist. I should be the one sighing, not you. Okay, she's changed up her entire testimony now. Engarde. Yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear the costume during the murder. He had to go to the post-ceremony show right after the crime, you know? So he must have worn the Nickel Samurai costume then, when he was stabbing poor Juan. I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume. What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside the costume? Don't be a bad little boy, thinking such rude things. But the possibility does exist. Ah, young'uns today, I told you, there's no way it was anyone else. How do you know that? Because I said so. And what I say is the truth. Yeah. At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Yeah. Mr. Wright, you may now cross-examine the witness. I kind of have an idea what I want to do here, but first I want to go through. Maybe press a little bit. Is that right? And why would it have been convenient for him? Yeah, and why would that be? That way, no one could see his face, of course. But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more. You're such an annoying child. You know that? You disagree with everything I say. Isn't that what you're always doing to me? I got it. Maybe it was some more troublesome for him to change in and out of the costume. They had to go to the post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know? Yep. Costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. Take a look at something. This is just based on my suspicion purely, so I want to make sure I'm not wasting my time. But yeah, I just remember, like, I was just thinking for a minute, it has that giant like glove on it, or this like bronze nickel. I don't know. It's something on his arm, and it's like he wouldn't leave fingerprints through that though. And they were just talking about the entire thing of his fingerprints on the knife. So if he was wearing his full costume, and there's no reason he'd take his arms off of the costume, then yeah, so there wouldn't be any fingerprints on the, I guess I present the knife, because there wouldn't be any fingerprints if he was wearing the costume. Please take a look at this. Yeah, so it's a knife, big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work. No, that's not my intention at all. That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case? You don't even have to ask. It's because the defense fingerprints are on it. Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I'm driving at. What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving? God damn it, Judge. If Mr. Angarde was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingers on this knife right off. Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? Yeah, I just remembered that, like, giant bronze-looking arm on him. He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At the time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off. But the murder still did take place. It's well known that the defendant and the victim had bad blood between them. Yes, I've heard of that. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory? So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intentions of killing him. Now we already have a contradiction. Now, up to this point, are there any problems making it so obvious? Now, are there any problems with this theory? Yes, obviously. Come on now. He would. Yes, I come in peace with a knife. Yeah, that would be great. This theory contradicts something in his earlier testimony. Well, what are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Angarde was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. Is it the knife again? I guess it is the knife again, yeah. He had... It's the knife. This knife was used... This was used by Mr. Angarde at dinner. Yes, we did establish that. Which means that if my client was, in fact, the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Kurita. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Huh. Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory is flawed from supposition 1. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us. Order, I say. Order in the court. Was this knife really just planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? To frame. Definitely to frame. Not even to hide the murder method, just to frame that. To frame my client, Mr. Angarde, of course. To frame. Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard for this one? But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Witness. Looks like I made your life a tiny bit more difficult. Huh, Edgy? Witness, did you or did you not really see this Nickel Samurai? Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Are you saying that you mixed up Mr. Angarde with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV? But I mean, I can't really do anything about that. Look, I was waiting around in front of the doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure. She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then, who were you waiting around for then? Huh, that's top secret to anyone outside of security. I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Hoan Kurita. Am I correct, witness? Hahaha. The way you think. You're a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness. Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of? So Oldbag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Kurita. Maybe, Phoenix, maybe the Oldbag was waiting around for that person. If it's hinting at who I think Mia's hinting at, if it's who Mia's hinting at, it's certainly a possibility. I guess it is. You could have been waiting for her, Miss Oldbag. You were waiting for the person to come out of the room, weren't you? I mean, there's only one other person, and I doubt she wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai, and she just said she wasn't waiting for Juan. So, she was waiting for a dead person, yes. No, she was waiting for Adrian. Who is this person? This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Engarda's manager. But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. Oh, this is... Huh, I see. The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing. Then the manager with initials AA, are you saying it's... Adrian Andrews, without a doubt, the witness thought so as well. Huh. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw the whole world... I can throw away this whole scorn to confidentiality. Okay, apparently I can't speak today. Confidentiality stuff. Oh, man. Witness, what in the world are you... Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. Oh god, is Oldbag gonna hit us with some knowledge? Oh god. I got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own investigation. In secret, of course. But what for? Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here? I don't really want to do this. However, I cannot simply let this point slide. I see. Very well then. Witness, please testify about the secret information. Get ready. This is gonna take the wind out of your young'uns. I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old. That Engarde is one evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret, you got that? Nobody else but you and me know it yet, okay? And everybody else in the courtroom. The defendant sent his manager? What a distasteful topic for this court. What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant? Never heard that one before. Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person? We have looked into this matter. And found the truth. Found that the truth the article possesses is, in fact, baseless gossip. Huh. But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim. So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Be careful. The Oldbag seems rather excited right now. That's right, Engarde is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth. Well, as the old saying goes, you've got to burn old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Okay, yep, Phoenix, let's do it, I guess. Let's see. Garde's evil man. I don't really want to press on that just yet. He thought he could ruin poor Juan. Well, yeah, we know what the scandal is. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get close with Juan. Yep, that's part of it. So I took action. Which was her standing outside. Oh, and this is top secret, you got that? Nobody else but me and you know it yet. But how do you know this? It's kind of my question. Like, where did you learn this information from is one of the big questions, so... And also, I guess more specifically what action you took to... I'll go with this one first and then I'll go to the next one that I want to press on. So what do you mean by I took action? Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Okay, that's what you meant. Yeah, it was. Once that slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson. Something you younguns need. Younguns. You're going to teach her a good lesson? I was going to make her eat damaging beams on my ray gun. Like this. No! Stop! Well, it was too bad the woman didn't come through the door that night. Okay. And this is the other thing I wanted to press on. Wait. What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over. Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know this secret information? Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. Uh-huh. It's a secret. Even if you drill a hole into my brain, you'll never find out.